Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing with you 3 easy and inexpensive DIYs that can be easily personalized and customized according to your liking. These DIYs are perfect not only for you and your home decor, but also as gifts. And I thought that with Valentine's Day coming, these DIYs can make a very thoughtful gift that A, is very affordable to make. I spent less than €5 for each DIY, and B, very quick to make. It took me 1 to 2 days to complete all 3 DIYs and they turned out super cute. Also, if you like easy and budget-friendly DIY ideas, make sure to like this video because this way I know that you like this sort of content and I can create more videos like this one in the future. And if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I make DIY and home decor videos here on YouTube. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Craftydust family. And of course, ring the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And before we get started, you will find all the products used for each DIY in the description box down below. Let's start DIYing. To create my personalized key holder, I used a bamboo and wood chopping board I got for $2.99. I know in the US you can get that for cheaper at the dollar store and in the UK in Poundland, but where I live our options are limited, and that was the cheapest one I found in these dimensions, which is really not expensive at all, to be honest. It's from Jumbo, by the way. So then I printed off an outline of an airplane, which I then cut down so that I was only left with the outline. I did that to make sure my drawing is perfect because I'm not the best at drawing, but of course you can go ahead and freehand your design on the chopping board straight ahead. So once I had my design, I placed it on the chopping board and centered it, and then using a pencil, I created some evenly spread dots using the outline of my little airplane as a guide, so that when I removed the drawing, I was left with a dotted outline of an airplane. Next, I took some 1.5 centimeter nails, which is a little over ½ inch, and hammered a nail on each dot and made sure that they protrude about 1 centimeter or 0.4 inches. And because the nails were pretty thin and small, I used some pliers to hold them into place. And when some nails went in a bit sideways, I just straightened them with the pliers or with my fingers. As long as they stayed in place, that was okay. Once all the nails were in, I took some black thread and tied a double knot around one of the nails, cut the excess, and then wrapped the thread around the nails. And guys, there is no rhyme or reason to it. I just wrapped and wrapped and wrapped until I thought looked good. And I also used my finger on top of the nail I was wrapping the thread around to hold the thread into place. And of course you can also use a colored thread to make it more vibrant or funky. It was really satisfying to see the shape come to life, and the thread made all the difference. Of course, you can go ahead and create a different shape of something that is meaningful to you or the person you're gifting this DIY to. I personally love traveling and I love flying in general. I also worked as a cabin crew for a season, which was an amazing experience. And a couple of years ago, Alex and I went traveling around Latin America. Unfortunately, our trip was cut short due to COVID. But the point I want to make is that I love airplanes because they remind me of the beautiful times I've had while traveling. And so this design is meaningful to both me and Alex. And finally, to secure the thread, I tied a triple knot around one of the nails and cut the excess. Then, using some more thread, I tied another double knot around one of the nails, cut the excess, and wrapped the thread only around the outline to make it stand out so that the design looks a little bit more cohesive and complete. And I did that twice, meaning I wrapped the thread around the outline twice, and to secure it, I tied a triple knot and cut the excess thread. Next, Next, I taped some painter's tape about 3.5 centimeters or 1.5 inches in and used some black acrylic paint to paint the bottom part of the chopping board, and I also painted the sides as well. I removed the tape and let it fully dry for about half an hour to an hour, and then using a tape measure, I marked 7 dots at the center of this painted area, leaving 1 inch distance between each mark, and then I added a nail on each of the 7 dots, which will serve as the hooks for the keys. Finally, I used some thick black thread and tied a triple knot on either side of the handle to create a loop so I can hang it on the wall. I cut the excess thread, and that finishes this DIY key holder. This project was so simple and it honestly looks so good. I absolutely love how it turned out, and who would have thought that it only takes a couple of hours and 4 to 5 euros to make. For this project, I used a 50 by 50 IKEA cushion cover, which was $2.99. I washed it and ironed it off camera first, and for this project, the only things you will need is some thick thread and a glue gun. So I started off by drawing the design I wanted to create with a pencil, and that will be my guide later on when I'm gluing the thread on it. And at first, I was very gentle with the pencil in case I made any mistakes I had to remove, and once I was happy with my design, I went over it applying a little bit more pressure. And by the way, this cushion cover comes in a variety of colors in case you're not a fan of light pink. So I am essentially drawing a minimal surfboard with the words Aloha on top of it. And one suggestion for the letters is to use something straight as a reference point, whether that being a cardboard piece like I used, or a ruler or a book, so that the letters are all the same height, and to make sure that they are evenly spread and look cohesive. I drew the first and last letter first, then I drew the middle one, and then I filled the gaps left and right. This way I had an idea of how big or small I had to make the letters. Once my design was ready, I placed this cardboard piece in the cushion cover to create an even surface, and then I hot glued the thread on my design. It's pretty straightforward. I don't know what else to say apart from it's best if you glue smaller sections because the hot glue dries really fast, and if you make any mistakes you can easily pull it off. And since it comes off that easily, it's best if you use this cushion as a decorative piece instead of something you use to apply a lot of pressure on, like using it for your bag, for example. And again, for us, the surfboard definitely reminds us of surfing in Latin America, but you can go ahead and create any design you like. And then I decided to fill in the surfboard fin as well, which I think makes it look even better. And finally, I popped in the cushion off camera, and that completes this DIY decorative cushion. For my final DIY, I will be using a tile to create a personalized coaster, and I'm starting off by painting the outline of the coaster with some black acrylic paint. I am trying to be as careful as I can so as to not paint the surface of the coaster, but it really doesn't matter because I will be covering the surface of it anyway. I let it dry for about half an hour, and while it was drying, I gathered all the memories I wanted to glue on the coaster. I'm using our tickets to Costa Rica, which was our first traveling destination. We stayed there for a month and a half. There's definitely a pattern on this video's DIYs. You've probably sensed that already. And I printed off the map of Costa Rica as well, which I cut down so that it protrudes about 1 centimeter or half an inch from all 4 sides of the coaster. That is because the glue I will be using later on will shrink the paper. And I also printed off the words Costa Rica, cut down this section and rounded the size of it as well so that they match the size of the tickets. And I also drew a little heart with a red pen on the capital of Costa Rica, which is San Jose. And then I used some white craft glue that dries transparent and applied a thick layer on the whole surface of the tile. And once it was fully covered, I glued on the map, made sure it was centered and straight, and applied a little bit of pressure on it. And then I placed the tickets on the coaster to sort of test where I was going to glue them. And then I glued them on. You can definitely be creative with this DIY. You can use theater tickets or cinema tickets, train tickets, pictures, a receipt from a nice meal you've had. You definitely have a lot of options. So then I glued both tickets on, always applying a little bit of pressure. And finally, I glued on the text as well. Then I cut down the excess paper from all 4 sides and sealed the coaster by applying a thick layer of glue on the whole surface and the sides as well. I actually used a really bad quality brush I had used for something else in the past, and the bristles were already glued together, but this way I managed to create a more textured surface, which I love. But if that's not your cup of tea, you can of course use a new brush, and then you can wash it off and use it again. If your glue is water-based, it will easily come off with some hot water and dishwashing liquid. So I let the coaster dry overnight, and then the next day the glue had fully dried down transparent, and to finish it off I added a door bumper pad on each corner underneath, and that finishes off this personalized DIY coaster. And these, you guys, were my personalized home decor DIYs. I hope you enjoyed them and took inspiration from them. Let me know which one your favorite was in the comment section down below. I think mine is definitely the key holder. I think it turned out really unique, and it's also a very useful thing to have. For some reason, we've ended up with more than 15 sets of keys. I have no idea how, but we have a lot of copies of the same key, and then we have our home key, our garage door key, our car key, our letterbox key, our storage key, our family home key. So many keys. The point is that a key holder definitely helps keep them organized and neat. So I hope you liked today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also do tag me on Instagram if you make any of these DIYs. I would love to see your own creations. And if you have any ideas for any future videos, it just started raining like really hard, so I'm sorry if you can hear it in the background. But if you have any ideas for any future projects that you would like to see from me, do let me know in the comments down below or DM me on Instagram. I would love to see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!